Hey guys, welcome to the very first algorithm. And I chose this because it's dear to my heart. It's actually the first algorithm that I learned how to solve on my own without anybody helping me, just my brain and I. And it's an accomplishment that you guys need to do. So, as the rule of thumb, I guess, what I want you to do before I show you how to solve it is, after I tell you the instructions, I want you to pause the video and think for a few minutes how you would solve the algorithm. And if you want to challenge yourself, go ahead and solve it without me explaining you. Then you can compare solutions and you might even get a different solution that I did, and that's perfectly fine. Like I said before, interviewers want to see how you think, how you solve problems. There's not a specific best answer. There is a most efficient answer, but we're not gonna get into that right now. But that's what it is. They want to see how you think. So let's go ahead and get started. So FizzBuzz, write an algorithm that outputs the numbers from 1 to n. Then for the multiples of 3, you have to print fizz instead of the number. For the multiples of 5, print buzz instead of the number as well. Now, there's a special occasion. If a number is both a multiple of 3 and 5, then you have to print fizz buzz. Now, don't get confused or don't get intimidated. Pretty much what it is if I give you, for example, the number between 1 to 10, right? Normally your program prints 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But for multiples of 3, meaning any number that is 3, 6, 9, you have to print fizz instead of the number. So instead of 1, 2, 3, instead of printing 3, your console should say fizz. If it's a 5, multiples of 5, meaning 5, 10, 15, then you're gonna print buzz. Now there are special situations when a number is divisible by both 3 and 5. For example, 15. 15 is both divisible by 3 and divisible by 5. It's multiples of 3 and 5. So in that case, you have to print fizz buzz, okay? Now I already got you started with the template. The function FizzBuzz n refers to whatever number you want to input, and that's going to be the highest number that you are going to print on the console. So it could be a 10, 100, a million, it doesn't really matter. And I put a set of comments that you can go ahead and get started with that. I specifically left one out, if you noticed, and it's because the order matters, and I'm gonna show you in a bit. So go ahead and pause the video, and if you can solve it, great. If not, don't worry, I'll show you my solution. Alright, were you able to figure it out? So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that I noticed is that we have to print the numbers from 1 to whatever input we get, right? The easiest way to do that would be with a for loop. So we write a for, and let's go ahead and move the instructions inside. So for variable I, doesn't matter the letter, it's just a standard thing, equals to 1, because we want to start from 1, not from 0. That's important. As long as I is less than or equal to n, because we want to actually go through that last number n. Every iteration we're gonna increase I, right? And we know that we want to output something, that's for sure. So console.log, and here we want to output the result, right? So what I'm gonna actually do is I'm gonna declare a variable called result, and I'm gonna initialize it to an empty string. Now, like I said, we for sure want to output something every single time the for loop runs. We want to output a result, right? So let's start with the first instruction. Print fizz if the number is only divisible by 3. The best way to do so is with an if statement. If I, which is gonna be the current number that we're working with, is divisible by 3 and the remainder is 0. So this operator is key right here. This is called the modulus, and what it is pretty much it's gonna divide this number by this number, but it's gonna give you the remainder. So it's not gonna give you how many times it goes into it, but it's gonna give you the remainder. So for example, if this was a 3, which is the first factor, the first multiple of 3, 3 divided by 3, the remainder is 0. So we would have a true right here, and whatever we put in here will actually be executed. In the example of a 4, if I would be equal to 4, yes, 3 goes into 4 one time, but the remainder is 1. Is 1 equal to 0? No, right? So it's false. So obviously when I equals 4, our block right here is not gonna get executed. If I modulus 3 equals 0, then what we want to do is we want to set the result equal to fizz. Cool, simple enough, right? Now, what do you think is going to happen with the 5? Same thing. If I modulus 5 it's equal to 0, then we want to set the result equal to buzz. Okay, so there's something that we need to fix right here before we move on. So let me fix it. So yeah, so this has to be an if-else structure because we only want one operation to happen per a number. So if it's divisible by 3, then fizz. If it's by 5, then buzz. You know, if everything else fails, then what I want to do is I want to set the result equal to I, because the last thing that we need to do is then print out the number, because everything else then fails. It's not a what do you call it? It's not a number divisible by 3 nor by 5, so we should just normally print out the number, right? So I want to copy the code and I want to run it because I want to make sure that I'm on the right track. And remember, we're going to be using JS console, right? So just copy the code, press enter. Now type FizzBuzz and let's give a parameter of 15. Okay, let's make sure it's working. So 1, 2, none of them are divisible by 3 or 5, so we printed out the number. Now 3 obviously is divisible by 3, so we printed out fizz. Then 4 doesn't meet any conditions. 5 divisible by 5, so buzz. 6 is divisible by 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Remainder is 0, so fizz. And so on. So far is working fine, right? But remember, we still have one more condition to add, which is if the number is divisible by both 3 and 5, then it needs to print FizzBuzz. And right now we're not doing that condition. And if you notice, 15, which is the last number that we gave, it's only printing fizz. What does that tell you? Think about that. Where would you put? Obviously we need to put another if, so that if when the number meets both conditions, that it prints out fizz and buzz, right? Where do you think would be the best place to do so? Think about that for a second. So I found out that the best place to do so would actually be to make it the first condition we check for. Why? Because as you can see, it rarely happens. We have some numbers between 1 and 15 that are divisible by 3 and some that are divisible by 5. But it's not until we reach that 15 mark that we actually meet that condition. And because at the moment that we run the function, we have 15 first meets this condition that is divisible by 3, it returns fizz, and it never reaches the divisible by 5 part, so it doesn't return buzz. So if we were to put it right after that, so that we can check for both, it's never going to reach that. It's never going to reach that if statement, and it's going to keep on only returning fizz. So for example, for 15, it's going to return fizz. For 30, it would return fizz, So the best place would be to put it right here. I'm going to show you why also. So if I modulus 3 is equal to 0, and let me actually enclose this with a second set of parentheses for readability, and I is divisible by 5, modulus 5 equals 0, then here I want to set result equals to fizz buzz. So why? What do you think? Like I said, it's all about that order. Think about it. If we reach that condition where, let's say 3 for example, because 3 would be our first target number, right? So 3 is divisible by 3, and it would partially be correct here, but we have an and, so it has to meet both conditions. So since 3 modulus 5 is not equal to 0, this is not going to get executed. So automatically 3 is going to go to the next, where it is going to find true, and is going to be fizz is going to be the result. Same for 5. Here 5 doesn't meet this condition, so this is false. It doesn't meet this condition either. It's not until here that we actually have buzz as the result. So let's test it out. Let's check if this actually works. Copy the code. Let's go back to the console. Let me go ahead and clear that out, and let's paste it in. Hit enter. Let's give it another shot. Fizz buzz. Let's put 15 in there, and everything seems to be working fine. 3 fizz, 5 buzz, 6 fizz. 15 fizz buzz, our target number for both multiples of 3 and 5. Let's test it with maybe a higher number. 30. 1 2 3 4 5 15 fizz buzz. Good. 30 fizz buzz. There you go, guys. So go ahead and leave comments. What do you think about the solution? Did you get the same result? Did you attempt to do it on your own? Let me know what you think. I want to know what you're thinking about. I want to see if you have any different solution. and I want to learn from you guys as well. So go ahead and leave the comments, subscribe to the channel, share the video, share the love, and just give it a big thumbs up so that I can get encouraged to give you more quality content. Alright guys, till the next time, peace.